Dr. Leonard Horowitz was among the first to sound the alarm about the negative impacts of vaccinations and the larger political picture surrounding them. This led him to the exploration of esoteric healing modalities to counter the effects of the vaccines and other diseases. In his research, he discovered some cloaked information regarding the power of music, not just to heal, but to harm. We spoke with him about this, but not before we got an update on the H5N1 flu that's anticipated to sweep the globe this fall.
Well, Joseph Goebbels was the propaganda minister for the Third Reich. And in 1938, as you mentioned, he was promoting on behalf of a global cartel. In this particular case, you had RCA, you had General Electric, you had EMI, which is people know as Abbey Road, where the Beatles did their recordings. You had these organizations, along with the United States Navy, that were serving a Rothschild-Rockefeller banking cartel's agenda to develop war technology through acoustics and acoustic science. They had determined that there were certain frequencies that would cause mass hysteria. That's what they were looking for. They were looking for psycho-emotional triggers that would induce stress, induce illness, induce confusion, and mass hysteria. And of course, if you think about it, naturally they would be looking for how to use music, how to apply music to the media, to film, to radio, that would actually increase the markets for pharmaceuticals. So who was, in 1938, the major pharmaceutical industrialists? Well, it was Rockefeller Standard Oil Company allied with IG Farben, Germany's leading industrial organization. That, for all practical purposes, was the Third Reich. Their top officials were the top SS. And that they were partnered completely, in fact, married is the term that the U.S. federal judge decreed was the best adjective for the Rockefeller German petrochemical pharmaceutical cartel called IG Farben. And so they had started, the Rockefeller Archives and the Rockefeller Foundation, when they started eugenics, which we talked about earlier, which was the racial hygiene. Before Hitler called it racial hygiene, it was called eugenics. And they were looking to control certain unwanted populations by inducing illnesses genetically and causing sterility through injection of everything from viruses, etc., so that, and chemical toxicity. So that back in the time that the Rockefellers funded the Kaiser Wilhelm Institute for Eugenics, Anthropology, and Human Heredity in pre-Nazi Germany, with Ernst Rudin being a premier promoter. And Marion Wright Edelman was promoting eugenics. You know, this is the origin of what Hillary Rodham Clinton is engaged in currently, the children's rights agenda. All of this was unfolding at that time, along with the military research into how to induce mass hysteria. And so it was determined that A440 hertz frequency was the, quote, best frequency for standard tuning by these same experts in acoustic science. And there was no other reason given for A440 being selected. It was the only explanation that they gave us was that it was close to 439, which some of the orchestras in Europe had been tuning to. But other than that, those frequencies themselves had also been kind of like just taken on, and without any clear reason or rationale. But the A440 emerged out of this consortium of experts in military war research and acoustics.
For the audiophiles among you, this is a fascinating take on the little-known agendas with musical frequencies. For the full interview, go to ConsciousMediaNetwork.com.